The Lexus LS is a luxury sedan without the gimmicks. Yet, that was not enough to keep it alive. For a while now, the flagship Lexus has been selling a fraction of what it used to. I completely understand the business decision to get rid of the LS, but I am having a hard time figuring out why this failed. That's why I'm making this review. And if you want one of these, you're gonna have to act fast. They're only making 250 final Heritage Edition LS's. And that is only going to come in one well-equipped spec. It's gonna run you about $100,000, and you're limited to just black and red, but that is a beautiful color combo. Some of you may have been astonished to hear that price tag, though I should mention that a similarly equipped BMW is going to cost more, and the Mercedes-Benz S-Class starts at $20,000 more. And even if this was the same price as the Mercedes, there are several reasons to still go with an LS. So today, let's talk about the highs and the lows. One of the big reasons why you're gonna buy a car like this is for the ride quality. The suspension here is forgiving, and it's also controlled. Going down the road, the LS isn't just posh, it feels substantial. You will have adaptive variable suspension here, which allows this to go from driving like a boat to maybe more of a dinghy. There's gonna be quite a bit of body roll. The steering is not very precise on center, it's not super defined, but importantly, it is smooth and predictable, and when you take it out of those sport modes, it's easy and lightweight. I also appreciate that they gave this a ratio that was not fast enough to make it feel darty, but also not too slow, because parking this does not require a whole ton of maneuvers. Driving a car like this should never feel like a chore. Now, if you are in the city, it does feel large, and just because you're also close to the ground, it makes curbs a little scary, but that never really became a problem. A 360 view camera is not standard equipment here though, so if you are in the city, I would recommend looking for a model with that. In comfort mode, the LS is, oh man, it just floats over a bad road. Small, medium, and most large imperfections are shrugged off. This does not feel completely disconnected from the road, but it does an excellent job of smoothing out virtually everything, with only large potholes sending a very small shock into the cabin. And if you forego the F-Sport models or opt for the air suspension, the ride will be more silky. Pulling up to highway speed, I really appreciate the extra insulation that you get here when compared to the Lexus ES. This, even though that car is also a serene cruiser, this is at a different level. You just get a dash of road noise, wind noise is super well muffled, and you hardly hear the engine as well, because at 70 miles per hour, it's still below 1500 RPM. The 10-speed automatic, while it sounds like an excessive amount of gears and is an excessive amount of gears, does mean that it has plenty of gears to play with at higher speed too. And despite that, it doesn't sit there and shuffle them around. With 416 horsepower, the Lexus LS shrugs off its 5,000-pound curb weight. The transmission picks the right gear at the right time, and you're left with a vehicle that feels relaxed at all times. The only slip in powertrain refinement comes from the transmission's tendency to be jerky during rolling starts. I got 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, which is not quite as quick as what Lexus says it should be, but this does feel spirited, even though I'm actually gonna shut off that fake engine noise. We don't need that here. I will admit, there's nothing about this that really makes me want to hustle it. The transmission shifts aren't super fast. There's a little bit of a latency here. I think the idea for this engine and transmission is to work in the background as best as they can. I think that's why they went with this turbocharged setup. You don't have to spin it up to high RPM to get the juice out of it. And you can also get this in a V6 hybrid. That is going to use a naturally aspirated V6, not this one. It's going to be much less performance focused, and honestly, I think if you're already spending this kind of money on a big barge of a sedan, you might as well go with the more powerful one. But Toyota's hybrids are great too, so you will at least get better gas mileage than this powertrain, which still has the fuel efficiency of a V8, though if you care much about efficiency, the LS is the wrong car for you to begin with. For 2026, all models will come with the non-hybrid setup. It's also all-wheel drive only. This is a rear-biased setup. It's going to have a Torsen limited slip center differential too. Now, I did get the chance to drive this 5 hours through a snowstorm, and I was very impressed. Not necessarily with the all-wheel drive system's ability to keep the LS from getting stuck, as a steep, icy driveway will point out how both the front and rear differentials are open. It would be nice to see a limited slip around back, maybe torque vectoring, but use your momentum and don't put yourself into bad situations and you'll probably be good, as this had no issues getting in and out of parking lots, navigating treacherous highways. This was so stable and quiet in poor conditions that I really had to keep track of my speeds to keep myself from traveling at a dangerous velocity. For this final edition, if you chose not to upgrade to all-wheel drive, you had rear-wheel drive. If you're spending this kind of money on a car, you want it to look classy, and the LS does. It's sharp, yet not overstated, like many other luxury products these days, and I love the standard lighting that you have here. Stepping inside, the first thing I notice are these beautiful doors. You have a nice solid thud when you close them. You have metal accenting here, as well as some ultra suede and leather, the floating armrest, and how it all swoops into the dashboard. The pre-facelift models get an even better looking cabin in my opinion. For the money, there are much more intriguing interiors, but the quality is excellent. Another hallmark of this brand is comfort. I had a sore back going into a 5-hour drive with this, and by the end of the drive, I no longer had the pain. You can electronically adjust them about any way that you want. In fact, you can even move the headrest back. A lot of these new headrests kind of have they're tilted forward a little bit, so some people can bother their necks. That is not an issue, and you have a plethora of physical inputs on the side of the seat, including one that will stretch out the already long seat bottom, so thigh support even at 6'3" is great. That said, your mileage might vary, as I've read some owner reviews where the shape was a source of complaints. Of course, you also have standard heated and ventilated seats with a heated steering wheel. The 2026 Heritage will apparently just have a panoramic glass instead. Here in my tester, I have the dual opening moonroof. And one of my favorite features is the Mark Levinson reference sound system, which works very well with the quiet cabin, and it makes for a balanced sound experience. You can turn it up pretty loud without any distorting. I think Volvo's Bowers & Wilkins setup is still more crisp, but this is excellent. And this is a whole other reason to buy an Lexus LS. This has a simple layout. It's very easy to just jump in and use, and you don't get that with most luxury cars these days. You have physical inputs for your HVAC. You have a very straightforward digital gauge cluster. You don't have Lexus's goofy trackpad thing to control the head-up display. It all makes sense. You don't even have the electronic door handle, which I like to see because this is the kind of car that you would want to drive 10, 20 years, and you don't have to worry about that failing. I have little beef with this interior, but there are a couple of things that let me down. The infotainment, while responsive and easy to use, feels like an afterthought. It looks identical to any Toyota setup, and it was poorly integrated into the dashboard. I'd also like to see more metal or wood accenting where there's gloss. This could use a little bit more storage compartments. This door card isn't very big. You can't fit a large bottle really anywhere in this cabin. You just have two little cup holders here. The center console, isn't super large or anything. You're just gonna have to stick to using the big old trunk. It's very, very long and nice and wide as well. It's not super tall. nor can you fold down the rear seats, but I had no issues hauling luggage and gifts on a Christmas road trip with this. And the back seat is also very accommodating. Not a crazy amount of headroom, but good legroom, good thigh support. And the rear seat occupants also have access to the standard rear sunshade. They have their own vanity mirrors, and while they don't have controls for it, they do have a few different climate vents. Heated rear seats and additional controls are optional, not standard. Another advantage to the LS is its relative cost of ownership. Looking at its competitors from BMW, Mercedes, and Audi, this has had a much better reputation for reliability and longevity, but there are some nuances. Audi and BMW build better engines than they used to, and the 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 has had some crankshaft bearing issues causing engine failure in the Tundra. This is not the exact same power plant in the Toyota trucks, but it's close enough to raise that concern for me. Looking at the very limited data for the LS, I did read some reports of failures in forums and Cars.com owner reviews, but none from the NHTSA. And so far, owner satisfaction rates tell me that most people aren't running into severe issues, with a majority of complaints over the tech and the run-flat tires, which did receive a recall. Overall, the quality of the vehicle reassures me that this is built to last, and Lexus consistently rates as one of the least problematic brands according to Consumer Reports. Time will have to tell more about the engine. Now let's talk about the drawbacks, some things that have potentially led to the downfall of the LS. Now, I don't think that this is the main one, but for me personally, in this low volume car, I would have loved to see their naturally aspirated V8 in here. You know, I get that the turbocharged engine is going to make more low-end torque, but the sound of the 5-liter along with its more proven nature would have been much appreciated. Compared to its foes, active driving aids are not much of a priority. You don't have a higher speed hands-free function, just lane centering. And while this is more subjective, a lot of the direct competitors to the LS are more attention grabbing. They are more athletic, and they're available in more configurations. While the LS feels expensive and well built, it doesn't have the wow factor of most other vehicles for similar cash. The idea of a Lexus LS is incredibly appealing because it does what a luxury car should do. For me, it fixates on quality, comfort, and ease of use, not screen size, grille lighting, or validation from finance bros. Everything about the LS is low-key. You buy this because you want to spoil yourself. I love it, but I can't afford it. Other Luxo barges don't exactly sell well, but they make more of a statement than the LS. I believe people that are spending this kind of money want a car that feels more like the bleeding edge and less like the past. The average Lexus buyer now is a sensible person. They want something luxurious, but they also want the versatility of the RX or the value of the ES. I'm glad that we're still getting a large Lexus sedan moving forward, but the ES will never replace the LS. It's designed for a different budget. It's supposed to make compromises. Even if the last gen LS was a flawed vehicle, maybe not my favorite generation, it still represents what Lexus can do when they don't care about the price point. I'll miss that. Thanks for watching, and thank you to my channel members for helping me improve my videos. Consider joining for additional content, and I'll catch you in the next one.